Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Chris Mayer, and this is SHO Episode 5. Today is June 25th. We got a great show for you today. Sunburst Studio is here. They're going to be talking about their game SLIPTIME SLEUTH, available now on Steam. You're going to be on there buying stuff in the Steam Summer Sale anyway, so while you're picking up that third copy of Jedi Knight 2, grab a copy of SLIPTIME SLEUTH, support local game devs. Why not? Before we kick things off here, I got two quick announcements. If anybody in the chat has fun Boston-related games events going on, you just drop those in there and I'll read them out. But the two I got here are Game Audio Boston is going to be on June 30th with Oscar Cohen, former co-organizer of Gab and current Riot Games audio person. Also did the audio for my Train Jam game in 2018, Night Train. Check it out. Boston Indies and Women in Games are also going to be hosting lightning talks on July 20th. If you're interested in giving a talk, we'd love to have you join us and give a 5 to 10 minute presentation. I'll post a link to the forum in the chat in just a second here. Not seeing anything in the chat, so let's just get started. I'm just going to run this intro, and then we'll have ourselves a great show.
SHO!
SHO.
Woo!
Wait, were you applauding yourself?
Wow, I wasn't supposed to be on camera yet. There's some delay here with Twitch.
Oh, there is.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for the raucous applause for welcoming in BitShow number 5. But we can't start the show yet. We have to kick it over to the theme song.
Mary had a little lamb with a little samba.
All right.
Woo!
Now we get to vote on whether that is better or not as good as Shell's intro last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember.
We're setting a bar. We're setting a precedent.
Yeah.
We're going to have, every guest is going to have to render a theme song as they enter the show. I think that's something that's going to catch on with the big talk shows, the big late night ones. Every celebrity guest who comes in is going to have to perform something musical to start.
That sounds like a threat. So if you all are not musically inclined, you don't have to do that.
I think they should start learning.
All right. So, serious business. Enough of this opening banter. What's next on the item?
Yep.
Banter.
Yeah, we have to banter first, and then we show then we hit it over to the guests. What are we bantering about? What's new with you? What are you running? Like a 5K?
I just went out running, so I'm not twice the man I was when quarantine started. When it all ends, just trying to maintain, doing the best you can to
You look great.
Good life. And then I immediately just came home and made mac and cheese. So I'm really just staying on a level here, and I'm happy with that. I can do with that. But I can say once for this week, I wasn't locked in Mortal Kombat with the Unreal Engine. For once this week, that was nice. What did happen is that my computer.
What is up with that?
My computer overheated, so I bought a new fan, and then I opened up the manual, and the manual says in it, "Do not remove the CPU backplate." And so I immediately think, "Oh man, I've got to remove the CPU backplate. That requires me to disassemble the entire case and take the motherboard out, everything." And I just completely stripped it, laid it all on the floor, and then read the not in the instructions. I turned a 20-minute job into 3 hours, and that's what I've been doing with my life lately. Yeah.
I don't know, man. You got to keep yourself healthy and sane somehow, right?
Yeah, it was a good workout. I don't even know why I went running. I should just strip and reassemble.
Yeah, you should just do that. Hello to everybody in the chat. I see a bunch of folks. Feel free to, I'm looking up at the monitor with the chats. Feel free to introduce yourself, because I don't know, who is this Soda Drinker Pro? Who's Vermont Digital Arts? Who's this this Grambury dude? I don't know him. I don't know them. Nobody knows who anybody is. So feel free to say hi and who you are.
I'm also getting a fair amount of excitement about the mac and cheese, so I was going to keep it off camera, but people seem to be into that. I'm going to go for it.
I did not realize. Did you? Yeah. there's going to be like a mac and cheese crafting session in place of Luigi's spot today. So stay tuned.
I've also been working on keeping the microphone real close, so I'm sure that eating soft food sounds is going to go well with that. Enough about me and my life, Ichiro. What have you been up to?
We launched a game on itch, 20-Minute Metropolis, which is a fast-paced action city builder that we've been working on. We launched it as a humble original last year, and then we were like, Elliot Bornstein and I were like, we got to actually launch this on Steam. And so like we're dragging our feet, and finally we launched it on itch, which was kind of like a halfway point between not launching it and launching it on Steam, right? Not to disparage itch, but it's like more chill than, you know, the formal Steam.
It's just super chill.
Yeah, it's super chill. And then something that I like, I might as well mention it to the chat. We're doing 20x minute Metropolis jams with a few people. So what we're doing is we're spreading the source code around so that folks can take it over the course of the next month and make their own city builder. And then we're going to have somebody do 21-minute Metropolis, someone do 22-minute Metropolis, et cetera, et cetera. And we're just going to release these as a bundle of Metropolis. And what I can mention is that, I mean, this is all really, really super informal, but so if anybody's interested, let me know. Seth Rosen is doing a defund the police minute Metropolis. So that's like, I wasn't expecting to get too political, but there you are.
I love that you're doing that at Cheryl. It's great. And I'd recommend people jump on that and work with him. I was thinking about, I didn't tell you, but I was thinking about it myself. And I was actually coming up with these political ideas I want to do with it. I was going to do,
but you never said that you never expressed interest. You're like, I'm too busy changing my CPU.
I know.
thing.
I'm too busy doing stupid things
That's
and
fine.
poorly managing my time to do the important things.
That's
like
okay.
with you. So
it's okay. Seth is defunding the police. So
good. I'm glad somebody's on that. Awesome. So that's what I've been up to. That's what you've been up to. Let's look at what our beautiful community's been up to. It's time for the weekly review of the arts. The arts being devlog. Oh, we got the slides up there. Oh, Cheer, this first one's about you. You want to take that or me?
all right. So John Bellini is showing off some space pirate frenzy action with Alpha One. I don't know if he's here to. Oh no, wait, sorry.
That's
Oh no. Oh, this is about me.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Sorry, I slipped it. So you know, it's the micro trailers is the takes all Steam launches and turns them into 6-second micro trailers. There is now an account that is a meta account somebody created for 6-second micro trailers, and this person replies to every single tweet that the micro trailers bot spits out, and says that a game based purely on what the micro trailer looks like is it trash or not trash. And they've been pretty consistently doing this. I see, like, 2 hours ago, 10 hours ago, 12 hours ago, and so I feel like I'm famous now.
Yeah, you got followers following your bots. That's
Yep.
how you have an active engaged audience with your bots.
That's my life.
That sounds. You push a little further. It's some sort of tenable living somehow. You monetize that, and you're good.
I did. I worked for Valve for 2 years, and then it's like
you did monetize. Right now, you just got to get your bot. You got to get Valve to hire your bot.
Oh shit.
Yeah. In other news, John Bellini is showing off some space pirate frenzy action. Look at those. Look at those little shooting ships.
Okay,
Nice?
so what I love about John's game, and I don't know if he's here, but like it looks like an asteroids game, but I would describe it as sort of like FTL light meets asteroids. So there is there's a lot of mechanical heft to it behind the scenes. There's a lot of strategy.
Yeah, looks good. Keep it up, John. I'm glad you're sharing with us.
Do it. All right, next slide. We got Tom Farrow. Tom Farrow's Tortoise has a web page. That sounds like Andre the Giant has a posse. You can go to tort.zone, and you will see a live cam. You will be able to send an emoji-based message back about, like, hey, Tortoise, I want you to hear my 5 emoticons. And it's pretty cool.
That one really strikes close to my heart. I have a turtle. and I made a webpage for it, and I realized it was 15 years ago. I didn't quite realize I had the 15-year-old turtle, so I was back looking at it and like baby photos of my pet turtle. You don't really think about it. They age. They do everything slowly, including age, but it has aged. It's a weird feeling looking at time through the image of an aging turtle.
I've met your turtle. He's he? Wait,
Uh,
have you sexed it?
we called him a he for about 10 years before somebody sexed it and decided it was a woman. So it's been hard to break the habit.
I have met her, and she is pretty awesome. So you could do a competing turtle cam.
Anyways, we may be off the topic of games. Fortunately, Elliot Mitchell's going to bring us back. That was my handoff to you, Ichiro, to...
Wait, I thought I was.
Oh no, you did. Sorry, I was just going on about turtles. Me.
I'll do it. I'll do Elliot Mitchell's Waggle Words, which is what number 4 in top paid games for all of any word game. So like it's a pretty good game. I think he's online at Vermont Digital Arts right here. You can tell him how waggly your words are. I don't know what to say except for the fact that he's like in the top 10 on paid. So kudos to you, sir.
It's pretty cool. You know, he's worked hard to connect with Apple, but it's amazing how much other stuff he's done with that. There are very few platforms he hasn't worked with getting that on, particularly weird platforms and VR and AR and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know the whole thing.
Everywhere.
Can it run Doom? Well, forget that. Can it run Waggle Words? And the answer is yes. All right, now I'm handing it off to you with the next slide.
All right, and that's great because this slide is Saul treating us to some rich, complicated bug combat in his game Dross.
Is there audio? Do we have...
Somebody make the sound effects. Bug.
Okay, so again, here's another example of what looks like an action game, and the simplicity here belies the last frame that you saw in that video, which is basically you evolve your bugs, and I haven't played it yet, so maybe Saul will send a build over.
Yeah, Saul's just teasing us. We're ready to get into that hot bug fighting action. Yeah.
All right, and the next slide. What? John Bellini gets to have 2 slides? That's crazy. I already talked about his slide. Go to the next game.
I particularly like that John was asking for feedback on
right.
UI and stuff. I thought it was nice here, and that's what devlog is good for.
Oh, you're right. And this is what I'm talking about.
Not just to show off, but to ask for advice.
Yeah, and it's good. My answer is yes. It makes the game look as complicated and wonderful as it is.
Yeah. Go ahead and ask for all the advice you want in devlog, and we will pay attention to you. That's the message here. And our final slide here, we'll go with Josh Galecki as a particularly slick new title screen for Caravana.
Isn't that nice? I like
those animations. Cheer was like, "Oh, but it'll take too long," which is like,
no. You don't want to see the same animation the 10th time you load up a game. That's when you start throwing shit out the window.
The question is how to share with devlog. Yeah, there's just a devlog channel in the Boston Indie Slack, right? It's just name of it, no punctuation, anything. Yep. Devlog, different than dev chat. I'm not entirely sure how, but
dev chat is for when you want to argue about development. Devlog is when you want to tell people what you're working on.
And I'm going to say ask for advice, but
yes, that too.
All right. Well, that's it for our review of the arts. Thank you to everybody who contributed to our vibrant scene of intellectual and entertainment pursuits here. I appreciate very much being part of this. Yeah.
Ziba, before we begin, have you yet received your BAFTA in the mail?
No, Chira, I have not.
Have you received Ziba, Luigi's? Because you're getting 2 of them, right?
I asked them to send me 7. They said they had to go smelt more ore or whatever they make those things out of, or recalcum or whatever the metal is. They had to go slay some sort of divine god to produce the pure material that would is the only thing worthy of honoring my accomplishments.
Okay, fair enough. And I realized I asked last week, so I don't want to ask too much. But thank you for the update.
Anytime. We got one more bullet point here. Is this we got possible audience interaction?
I don't know. I think the audience has been doing great.
Yeah, I don't know. It made me want to like shoot a T-shirt out in the audience, or like smash a melon Gallagher style and spray them. These are the things I'm longing for and missing out of our physical human interactions. Is just to
soon, my friend. Soon
spray an audience. I don't know. That's
okay. Okay.
Someday. All right. Okay, on to the real meat of it. What the most important reason of the show, our guests. We have 3 guests today. Individually, they are rising juniors from WPI, but together they are one half of Sunburst Studio. This very week, they've done something absolutely worthy of celebrating. After a year and a half of hard work and rework, they released a clever, polished, time-traveling puzzler on Steam. Please welcome Dylan Valev, Marie Endo, and Tyler Marcus.
Hello.
All right. First off, did I butcher anybody's name?
It's Mari.
I'm sorry, Mari. My apologies. Is that the worst of it? All right. Mari. How is everybody?
I'm good.
Good.
Pretty good. I'm bummed that my apples went bad yesterday, but other than that, things have been pretty swell.
Is that a euphemism for something?
No, they just went bad.
He had real apples and they went bad.
These are hard times. We're here to help you get through, Dylan. We're a community for a reason. So enough of the pleasantries, onto the individual grilling. So reason we have you here, aside from to celebrate what you've done, I think that's really great. You put out a game, being busy students. We want to make sure that you feel like you are connected to the Boston indie dev community, and that you can talk to them and they can talk to you. So I just wanted to ask a few questions to help you introduce yourself and give people reasons to come talk to you. And so I'm just quickly gonna. We talked early, and I picked out a few cool things you said that I wanted to bring up. So Dylan, you founded the WPI IGDA chapter. What does that mean? I don't know if everybody knows what the IGDA is and having a chapter is. And what inspired you to do that?
Sure. Well, so IGDA, WPI, International Game Developers Association, the WPI chapter. I was one of a couple of people who really pushed to found the thing earlier this year. I guess to keep a long story short, there's a lot of deep lore and strange things, and even longer club title names. It used to be the Game Developers Club Developers. So we're like, you know what? Let's make it longer. So what pretty much inspired us to do it was in our year, or rather the year previous, the club, our game development club, is really growing strong. And then when I became president, it was even starting to grow even more. And our friends at Becker down the road have a pretty neat IGDA chapter themselves. And we're like, hey, that sounds neat. What's all that about? And pretty much we just wanted to provide a space for our like club members and other hobbyists to like, further the professional development in game dev. And because, game dev is tough. So, yeah.
Can I mention that there's like WPI is represented very well among the local game developers. I don't know who in the chat is Grandpa Darius, right? And Mike Gesner and so forth. But like Granbury, WPI, alum, now like a senior developer. Yours truly, WPI. Who else? I don't, like Chris, WPI alum. And they're probably Alex Schwartz.
Yeah.
Who else? Everybody's WPI.
I came pretty close. I considered it back in the day.
And then you were like, I
was scared away by the quality of people. I'm not surprised at all. I meant that. No, that came out wrong. No, I'm not at all surprised, Dylan, that you've been organizing and outside your schoolwork, pursuing something that that you think is going to be important to your life, because that's what I've seen come out of WPI from a lot of people. So
we're just totally awesome.
More power to you. Mari,
Yes.
may I ask you? So you've been exhibiting at WPI. Ichiro and I met you there, exhibiting your game at an event. At PAX, at BFIG. What do you do to get value from those events, and what's it been for you?
So I think one, like especially while we were developing, playtesting and seeing player reactions was really important, because we make something, we think it makes sense, and we're like, oh, this is good, but players play it, the general public plays it, your audience plays it, and you understand, but based on their reactions, things that you need to fix. Also, we find a lot of bugs. And also just interacting with the community. Like, I come from very far away, so this is not my home base at all. But, like I've met a lot of people in the community and like gotten to know people and talk to them and be able to go up to them at events to be like, hey, like I saw you at like BFIG, what's up? And like have them actually remember who we are with our annoying little t-shirts. So that's really important. I think, like understanding people that are going to play our game. Like we had someone come up at BFIG who then later came back and brought all of his friends to play our game, which was really, really rewarding, because it showed to us that like somebody was interested enough in our game to want to share that experience with his friends, and that meant a lot. So the community aspect, the fixing our game aspect, and just overall getting to like know people and watch people play our game.
Nice. And you're saying you came from California, right?
Yes.
Cool. Welcome. Good choice. And you also said something I thought was interesting. It almost sounded like you felt like, and I'm putting words in your mouth, like you missed a step, that you went straight to going to these events as an exhibitor and not as an attendee.
Yeah, so I think with our team specifically, we managed to find success rather quickly, which is a thing that we're all super grateful for. But it's almost like there's been an element of myself where I've been like, we have to prove ourselves and like prove that like this is something that is valid, that we earned it, and that we can actually do the work to like prove that. And the fact that I've only gone to events like as an exhibitor feels as if I've like missed out on the other side of like seeing people and being like, wow, I want to do that too. But I think it's something that I can still get from here on out. Like our team is fairly large, so I'm not going to go to every single event that we have. So, it's something to still look forward to, and also, stay humble about.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's something that's a position that that's a lot of people can relate to. I think in this community, that the interesting sort of foot in both worlds of creator and consumer, because most of us really do love the things we make. Though I don't think that's a requirement. But then you have, Chiro.
I want to argue that it is. I think that anytime, I'm going to put this out to the three students and Ziba, BAFTA award-winning Ziba Scott. All right, I would argue that if you don't love what you're working on as a game, you are missing out on being the first line of defense of it sucking or not sucking. I don't know if that question makes sense. Like if you don't like it, can you tell if it's good?
I think you need some amount of passion for the game in order to be able to decipher whether or not it's like good, but enough to not get blindsided either. Because if you like it too much and you're really dead set on something, then it might backfire in the sense that you're like, no, this is how it has to be, even if maybe everyone else hates it.
Yeah, pretty much ditto that. If you don't give a rat's ass about it, it's going to be trash.
Yeah. I think there's an important element to like, even if it's not something you're 100% passionate in, finding an aspect of it that you can turn into something you're passionate about, whether it be like a specific part of it, like an animation or an art piece that you're really into just for that specific part of it to keep yourself going at least a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I like it.
I want to play. I think Tyler's answer hits closest to what I'm thinking, is that I think there's a danger in setting a general bar of you have to love this much of games to do good in games. And that, it feeds into this fanaticism that creates this artificial depression in wages in game skill. I don't know if it's artificial, but this idea that you're going to sacrifice for the passionate to be in your passion industry. When I think you can do very good work and care about it if you care about the specific thing you're doing. I think how it actually plays out for a lot of us here in the indie community, particularly, is we care about so much of it that we just get all entwined in it. But I think it would be healthy to appreciate people who can more compartmentalize why they're in games.
I'll buy that too. All right, we can debate next week. Next week's guests, Ziba Scott and Ichiro, yell at each other.
Our guest will just be a straw man that we tear down. But Tyler,
Yes.
you lit up when I was talking the other day. You said you like animating things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk tools. Perhaps start a flame war. I know we have several experienced and talented artists watching along with us right now. And tell them why their choice of tools is wrong and yours is best.
Wow, love it.
Or something along those lines.
Okay, so here's why everything but Maya. Okay, no, I mean I animate in Maya a lot. I do primarily a lot of 3D animation, but I'm working now in doing a lot more 2D animation, and just studying that sort of thing. Working deep with like a lot of a professor to sort of like hone my skills, because I do like making things move. I think there's an aspect of animation that I enjoy, of like bringing life to a thing, just sort of taking a static thing that like our artists give us, like Karen and Jasmine make for us, and then just making it sort of move, sort of boogie. There's something cool about that. And I think that's just sort of why I've gone down to it. And also I'm like the only animator on the team, so that helps me do more things. So
and animate you did. That's my segue to talk about your game specifically. So Sunburst Studio has just put out SLIPTIME SLEUTH. What is SLIPTIME SLEUTH?
Yeah, well, SLIPTIME SLEUTH is a time traveling puzzle game. We utilize this sort of like slider mechanic to sort of change the map, like you're scrubbing through a YouTube video, and you sort of use that to sort of get to hard to reach places, uncover mysteries, and like solve some clues that you find and that sort of thing. You know, it took a more serious form in the beginning, but as we like developed it more, we found it more enjoyable to sort of give it this sort of comedic tone, and sort of developed its own identity as we started like working with that more. Yeah.
I love the core mechanic. I mean, this is like a blink and you'll miss it on the video that you're seeing, but essentially, I mean, you're scrubbing through time, right? You walk into a room and you move the slider, and suddenly what?
Contents of the room shift. The room you're going through time, so as time passes, the room will change. Different objects will show up. Different items will change the weather, or they'll become less old.
Yeah.
I love the first example you started with. The very within 30 seconds of starting the game, you are just blatantly, ridiculously abusing your time travel powers to toast bread perfectly. Appreciated that very much.
It was Dylan's little creation there.
Every morning I just thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I'll make my dreams come true every time I boot up this game.
So, and you did all this. You worked for a year and a half, and you told me there's a bunch of rework. But you are students. However, did you find the time?
Oh. I guess what was sure. I guess what was really important for it was, I guess, time management. Setting this day is going to be the slip time day. The next day it's going to be best of luck with computer science. The next day, or like whatever. We felt that really like blocking the days to it instead of like just being very spread thin. That was the best way to go about it. And additionally, kind of being a larger team, Tyler made like a great analogy to it, where it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, where they're all like holding, I forgot which one it was, but they're all holding together, like holding the power, being like, you know, you all need to be together to like hold this crystal thing. Pretty much having each other's back. So once feeling down, the other, you know, comes in, takes up the slack, and kind of tag teaming in and out definitely helped a lot. So definitely the size of the team was a real big benefit to that as well.
Yeah, there's a certain aspect of fluidity in roles that we had, especially in the beginning. where, yeah, as you said, it was more of a tag team, where it's just kind of like we're having need some like people to work on this. I know I was working on a lot of icons near the end of it, and then I realized I also had to sort of rig the entire cast of characters, and I'm like, I can't do all the icons together, so we sort of like spread it amongst all the artists and that sort of thing. So it's very much like a pick you up when you're down sort of dynamic that we have going on the team, I think.
That is so nice. I really like that. I think that's unfortunately not a super common story for teams coming out of undergrad.
Yeah,
So
usually we just yell at each other and get mad.
yeah. I don't think. Yeah, no. I don't think I was capable of such long-term sustained collaboration as a hot-headed whatever I was as an
Yeah,
undergrad.
a Ute.
Yeah.
Very impressive, folks.
So you've launched, and then so what's next? Is Sunburst going to stay together, make another game? I'm not saying you have to. It's been a lovely ride so far, but what are you up to?
I mean, right now we're on a break. We just shipped. We're gonna do some like maintenance on the game. Should we see fit, fix things for when people complain about a bug. But for now, it's mostly just taking a break for now, recuperating a little bit, and then we're gonna go back to the drawing boards soon, sometime next month. I have the date. It's in my calendar. I just don't remember the exact date, but it's there. And then we'll meet up and sort of cover everything we need to. I don't know, anything. I got it all.
Yeah,
Perfect.
The team agrees. That's how all your meetings go. One person says something, everybody just says, "Yep, that's what we're doing." I love it. This is, you'll all go far with that. So we're just about at the end here. Where can people follow you? Anything else you want to throw in?
Twitter, at Sunburst Studio _ because Sunburst Studio was taken. We also have Instagram. I forgot our Instagram handle.
Sunburst Studio Games.
That one. We also have our website, sunburststudio.games.
Yes.
Twitter.
Yep. So your audience is coming in with all the links. They're helping you out with the Steam link, with the Twitter link. They got your backs.
Aaron, Jess,
They're
nice
even working to sell your soundtrack. So that's you got a crew there. It's
our soundtrack's on sale today.
Nice.
It's the cat.
You're right. Does it include the
right?
Bit Show theme song?
Yeah, that's the main theme actually. Yeah, little insider is gonna be DLC soon, where it's just only cat noises.
If you finish the game in under 20 minutes, you unlock a version where it only meows.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Oh, beautiful. I look forward to everything y'all do as a group and individually. And I really hope to see you in the Boston Slack or at other events. And look forward to seeing maybe your stuff in devlog even. Wouldn't that be nice?
It will be nice.
Yeah, devlogs even for, finished games. You get some maintenance, got a cool patch you want to talk about in there. That's great.
Well, there's the cat thing that they're implementing. So I expect to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Come everybody join us and be less alone making games. So that's it. We're wrapping up here. I want to remind people, as always, to post in devlog and to join the play-games channel in the Slack. Ichiro, still playing GTA 5?
We are playing GTA 5, although Trevor, my good friend, last week, we play every Monday, right? Where were you, man? I don't even know if he's in the chat anymore. He popped up, he popped in. He usually gets us all the best cars, and so you can play GTA with us. If you like, if there's another game that you all want to play, multiplayer, let us know.
Oh, and before I throw it at Chris, I realized I missed a big opportunity to hype a special event this week, the show. We're not doing a drink. We're not doing a drink lesson.
No tiki time?
No tiki time.
Tiki time's paused while we digest our previously made tikis. We've got something equally as exciting, perhaps more so for some people. We've got our very own Luigi Guatieri giving us a tour of his Gameboy collection. And let me tell you, it's something special. This man cares and knows about his Gameboys. He's put a lot of time into this. So I'm looking forward to I'm not sure what it's going to be. I'm imagining it's going to be like Antiques Roadshow or something, but where he's like drilled everything and put LCDs in. I don't know. So
We'll find out.
We're going to find out. That's the Bit Show for today. Thank you all for coming. Thanks once again to our guests. Thank you, Ichiro. Thanks,
you.
Chris, for being production.
Thank you. Thank everyone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Luigi, and welcome to my bedroom. I'm here to talk to you about the second best handheld game console series ever made. Unfortunately, the Neo Geo Pocket Color was too good for this world. Ripperoni and pepperoni. So, the Game Boy. Those of you who don't know it, looks like this. Fits in your pocket. It's great. These chips were in production from 1989 to 2003, if you count when they switched over to the Game Boy Advance and started manufacturing the Game Boy chips inside of there, and including the Game Boy Player add-on for the GameCube. Why is the Game Boy so cool? Probably nostalgia at this point, but unlike a Switch, I can carry this around and not look like a maniac. So, I'm a middle-aged man now, and I have a lot of time on my hands all of a sudden because, you know, the world crumbles around us. What can you do with a bunch of Game Boys other than play them? Because the Game Boy back in the day, if you remember, had a reflective screen, wasn't all that great, couldn't really see into it. But these days, a bunch of nerds on the internet have made amazing products that you can buy and put them into Game Boys. I'm going to show you a few of my favorites. So this is a original Play It Loud DMG dot matrix Game Boy. This one I think came out around 1990. Pretty decent size, takes 4 AA batteries. But the mods I've added to this is a wonderful new glass screen, which you can't tell. But most importantly, and most Game Boy mods involve light up screens, as you can see here. So this is one of the original light up screens that you could add to a Game Boy. It uses just a backlight on the original LCD. The mod in here, as you see, I'm playing Tetris, and maybe I'll just... yeah, so the backlight in there uses the original LCD, which requires a kind of a painstaking method of using a bunch of tweezers to slowly peel off the metal backing. I wouldn't recommend it for a first-time mod. I almost cut myself a few times on the glass. But also on here, you probably need to do it, is as you can see, the contrast isn't that great. So what I did add, and it did improve the original screen, was a bivert chip, which flips the image to black and white. You reverse a polarizer on it, and it makes the image even more crisp. Other than that, added a glass screen, like I said, an amplifier, so the music sounds even better. Because if you know your chiptune bands, a lot of musicians use Game Boys for their awesome sound chips. The second mod that I did was the same thing for a Game Boy Pocket. The other thing I did here was I made it an orange screen. I did not add a contrast chip to this because the Game Boy Pocket has a slightly better screen, so you don't really need it. I also added a glow-in-the-dark case. Can't turn on my can't turn off my light to show you right now, but you can find different cases for your Game Boys. There's a bunch of companies that make them. Some of them are great, some of them aren't. It's just pretty much luck of the draw. Right now I've got Pokemon Green in here, which is the original version of Pokemon, and it is a completely bug-riddled mess. What we got in the States here was a much, much better version. Next on the list, as we move up in Game Boys, I'll show my Game Boy Color last because it has the most interesting mods, but Game Boy Advance. So for those of you who do know your Game Boys, this Game Boy Advance did not come with a backlit screen. It was still using the TFT sort of reflective screen because Nintendo was, too fucking cheap. But the upgraded Game Boy Advance SP, so there were two versions of the Game Boy Advance SP. There was the 001, which uses a front light, which is not great. The original Game Boy Color mods used a front light. But then the upgraded version, the GBSP 101, uses a backlight screen. So actually, I ripped out one of those screens and put it in here because I like the form factor on this. A lot of people do this mod because they don't really, because they also like a headphone jack, which the Game Boy Advance, point to it, does not have. The Game Boy Advance SP does not have. But you can also mod in, because there's a mod, of course there is, out there to add a headphone jack to the Game Boy Advance SP. It uses the Nintendo, before Apple, it used the Nintendo, before Apple even bothered with their bullshit iPhone jack, Nintendo was experimenting with proprietary headphones. So that is the SP screen in there, works great. There's a couple, I did not replace the case on that one. I did add a glass screen, scratch proof. And last but not least, the Game Boy I want to talk about is my most recent project. This gorgeous looking white thing here with orange buttons. But what I did add to this was the latest and hottest in Game Boy modding, which is an IPS screen, if it doesn't blow out. An IPS screen, as you can see, here's my ROM cart. An IPS screen is basically a cell phone screen that, like I said, a bunch of nerds on the internet have modded a ribbon cable to work with the Game Boy. So here's my favorite version of the original Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. This thing looks gorgeous. It's got a few modes of brightness, which is fantastic. This one I have is made by Funny Playing. That's just the name of the guy who makes it. You can order them from Handheld Legend and stuff. Other than that, like I said, I replaced the case. You can get new different screen coverings. I didn't really do anything else too crazy in here because the IPS screen just worked so well. But this is sort of my go-to Game Boy right now. Not that I'm going anywhere and would need to travel portably anywhere. But the other last part of Game Boy modding, especially if you have one of these handy-dandy ROM, carts, the EverDrive. This is the EverDrive GB in here. This is the EverDrive GBA. Just throw all your games into one cartridge. Takes a micro SD card slot right there, so you can put if you have a 64 gigabyte card, you can probably just load every game ever made on there. But one thing I have been messing around with, I know a few people in chat have also messed around with this, is making our own Game Boy games. The ultimate form of modding. I've noticed in recent years a few games have showed up on itch as well. This was from Global Game Jam a couple years ago. We did not get far because who knew that making Game Boy games so hard, but it ended up just being a slideshow. Looks cool. But making games for the Game Boy is really fun in terms of its limitations. You have to do assembly code. There's some C engines out there. But yeah, that is Game Boy modding. I know a lot of people have a lot of time on their hands, so if you want to start a hobby that will impress nobody you know in real life and tens of people on the internet, it's pretty fun. There's a few sites out there. I can't remember one of them, but Handheld Legend is one of the great places to get mods from. Ben Venn, he makes a lot of carts and different backlit screens. He's out of Australia, a little bit more pricey. Retro Gaming UK, I think, is another one. But one of the best resources just to see what people are up to, because lots of people paint their own cases, stuff like that, is the Gameboy subreddit. A lot of people are posting their cool things they're doing on there. Like I said, there's a bunch of games being released on itch. I just downloaded one the other day. What was it called? Gotta wait for this thing to load. Tobu, and it was pretty good. Fun little jumping game. But yeah, that's it. That's your introduction to the wonderful world of modding these ancient consoles. What's on the horizon for them? There's an interesting, for those who know the Analog game console company, they make FPGA emulator consoles. They made a fancy Super Nintendo one, which I have, and it's gorgeous. It made a Sega Mega Drive one, which is fantastic. But their next one is the Analog Pocket, which will be an FPGA handheld console that can take cartridges and can also has a dock like the Switch. But also that will be able to fit in your pocket, unlike a Switch, unless you're wearing giant jeans. That's it for me. Thank you. I hope you have a good night. We'll hang out and chat. It's back to you, Chris.
All right, that was great. Thanks, Luigi. And thanks, everyone, for joining us on Bit Show this week. We'll, of course, be back next Thursday at 7:30. We're going to have our guests Felicia and Josh from Dirty Beast Games, who are working on their game Feral Frontier. We're also going to have another exciting demo of some kind. I think I'll probably be doing yo-yo tricks. Should be a good time. We'll see you then.
Let's go!